This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, this is Lígia, and I am speaking with my friend Evan. Welcome to Potentials. And Evan and I are colleagues on a quantum physics project, kind of. Project, yes. So experiments, home experiments, we do that kind of thing, and it's really fun. And Evan, I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Oh boy, thanks for having me, Linda. Let's see. Start off with the music stuff. I guess I kind of both kind of have that thread in common where I started off just playing around whatever sounded good on the piano, and then my uncle got me a drum set to get on my mom's nerves, which I actually enjoyed playing, but it vanished. And then when I was about 16, started to actually like play guitar, like really enjoy it. And then maybe a year later, my buddy got back from a weekend at his father's house in Arizona, and he was like, "I'm a Reiki master. I took a 2-day course, and now I'm a Reiki master. And also, I'm really into astral projection now, and you should check this out." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know for sure if you're really a Reiki master now, but something about astral projection seems intriguing." So I looked into that, and kind of both of those have been sticking to that for a little while. So
So
that's
do you actually astral project? Do you
I'm
do
not.
you do it?
I don't like. I haven't really done any group stuff for per se. Like with people, like I've had stuff that I've checked out, like turn out that it's legit, but like other than like I wouldn't like. I think the difference is astral projection is like deep space, or like you bring your whole essence there, versus remote viewing is you just kind of eyeball it.
Yeah, yes.
But I've
So
not.
have you ever, I'm sorry, have you ever felt like you're like, what does it feel like?
It's like I don't know when you meditate if you see like any shapes or anything kind of like that. Like so, it would be like to me, it's like you see the shape, but you can like kind of like glide around, like you're in like kind of like a hang glider. Amen.
Is it interactive?
Some of them are, yeah, and it definitely seems like there's like kind of like a different spatial aspect to it, where like not really up, forward, back, down. There's like more to it. If I can, it's hard to describe in words, but like kind of a time aspect, sort of too, but it's time related there. I don't think so.
Do you like you say that it's kind of like you kind of glide around. Is it something that you in advance think I want to go see this, or is it something you just end up seeing?
Both, yeah, both. Sometimes for like dreaming, like I'll like have like a kind of a concept or an idea of where I want to aim a little bit, and then sometimes I'm just like, all right, cut the chains loose. So where are we headed? And just kind of steer from there. But other times I'll be like, oh, like for example, like, oh, what's underneath the Sphinx? And like, oh, it looks like there's some sort of pathway, and like going underneath it, like, oh, that looks like a booby trap. Like maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I have no way to confirm it, but like it, in my opinion, looked like some sort of waterfall, weird booby trap thing underneath there.
Huh.
I don't know any way to confirm that, but I don't know that I would go back down checking it out or anything.
If you're in an astral body, would a booby trap affect you?
I think they're different. Yeah, they have like I think astral booby traps. Again, I've never heard of
Oh,
them.
I
Yeah,
never even thought of that.
yeah,
Wow.
I've heard of like supposedly for like high security places or like places they don't want whatever to go down. They have like bodyguards that do like work to like keep people out. But I haven't heard of like this stuff to set workplaces to like snag people, which may not be the case. But
Mhm.
I
That's
don't know.
interesting. I never thought about there being astral booby traps. I don't know why. I just
I
never thought of it. But that
Yeah,
makes sense
seems like
because they would want to keep people who are able to astral project, and now there's probably going to be even more people that have that ability, as people start coming into their powers, they're going to start figuring it out. And so they're going to have to keep people out of certain areas if they don't want them to see those things. Kind of like remote viewers, where they try to block them somehow.
Oh, yeah, it would be the same. I think that there's ways that you can block people like from remote viewing. Like firsthand, I've tried to oddball places, and definitely, I mean, sometimes you come up blank anyway. But like, oh, I got a good fix on whatever the deal is there. Just total white slate. Nothing.
Yeah.
Again, I don't. It's been a while of me doing it, but I don't think I'm a pro on it since.
So you say it's been a while?
Well, no, yeah, no. I mean, I always check stuff out, or like if whatever, like get a feeling about something, I'll be like, no, I wonder what's up, and like try and check it, like eyeball it, but
Yeah.
I don't always get a hit, and I don't necessarily know for sure that it's accurate, but because I can't cross reference against anybody, but I still enjoy checking it out and trying. Seems like
So say if you really wanted to see something, like there was somebody that you knew, I don't know, in another country somewhere even, and you wanted to see how they were doing, could you go check on them?
uh, to the point where I could be like, if they're all right or if they're not. That's like basically it for now. You know, I couldn't like be like, oh, I want to, I want to see if their arm is not fractured anymore. I could be like, maybe a sense if they're in pain or not. That's about it.
I'm sorry, you said you would have a sense of pain if
I
they're in
would.
pain?
It would be if I was really concerned with how they're doing. It would be like a sense of like if they were in pain or not. Like it wouldn't be like a, oh, 2/3 of this fracture is good. Like I'm thinking that there's people that are that good that could be like, all right, well, like if there's a little bit of a infection or something like that, I'm like, which is awesome.
Yeah,
At that level.
but you don't do that.
I I'm working on it. Hopefully, eventually, but hey, not right now. Speaking
Well,
of,
yeah, I mean, hey, keep doing it, keep it up. Yeah. That's how you get better, I think. Practice makes perfect, right?
well, yeah, oh, exactly that, and well, that, and to the name of your show, to the idea of
Potential. Yeah, there's a potential of doing it. Yeah, so keep it up.
there's
Um, that's
probably
awesome.
a version of both of us that has that ability, but it's just getting in contact with them to help us figure it out too. That's the idea that I think
Yeah.
maybe not.
I feel like there's a lot more information out there now than that we have access to than there was before, so that we can try to maybe figure it out together collectively. And I don't know if I'm right, but maybe as more people start to be able to do it, we'll all start to get better at it. I don't know.
Oh, I definitely think that's part of it, and I think another
Yeah.
maybe is like the more like if I saw you maybe take your hand and make a flame out of it. Rough example, but something
Yeah.
like that. It would be in my head like, oh, I can do that also. Like, oh, that's awesome. I mean, maybe that's
Yeah.
not what the thing is, like whatever, I can make a glass donut or something. But like, oh, it's possible to make something out of nothing in your hand. Like I've just seen somebody that I've known for a little while now do it with ease, like repeatedly. Like, oh, that's awesome. Like that to itself, I think adds to maybe the momentum of it.
Right. Well, it's kind of just like any skill. When you watch somebody do that, it kind of makes you want to try it, and then you keep trying until you do it. Like, like music, for example, playing an instrument, you have to keep trying until you get good at it. Keep playing it.
That's
So
true. That's 100% true.
yeah.
No
Same,
matter what.
same with drawing. Yeah. So I mean, do you do you ever have like dreams where you're doing something that maybe you think you used to do either in another density or in another life? Like I have flying dreams. I have dreams that I can fly, and I've had these all my life, and I really feel like I can, and in the dreams, it's so real that it's
Oh
like,
yeah, that,
I can't believe that I can't fly when I wake up. It's like, what happened? Why am I not flying around? I
that
mean, you have anything like that?
there's been a few a few where like, oh wow, that really seemed like whatever civilization that was seemed like super real. Like, oh, it
Yeah.
was probably, or like, oh, flying around like, oh man, that was a good. I remember that universe where there was no gravity or whatever the deal was, and you could just zip around at will. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like there's some. They're like, oh, I was an octopus in that one. What the heck? Like, something along that way.
Cool.
Not that I was human, but like, you don't realize it or care necessarily at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I have these feelings that I wasn't anything. Like I didn't have a form, like that's a weird one, but I've had that too.
I think there's supposedly that's one of the types of whatever's out there is just a formless plasma kind of a blob.
Mm. Like a light being or something.
Yeah, big light.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
that could be.
I think there's a lot of varieties out there, maybe that I don't think maybe Earth is so unique with the chemistry here per se. Like there's probably a lot of it out there, but just for whatever reason doesn't come down and say howdy.
Well, what if you can think of something that you would like to see happen for the future? I
Hmm.
think you were about to tell me this before we started recording, and I can't remember what it was.
Oh, well, maybe the part about like if we woke up tomorrow and
Yes.
if we
That
woke
would-
up tomorrow and there was maybe 10 years hasn't gone the way that it has, like at least maybe five, and
yeah.
the veil was already lifted. Like what steps would you take as somebody that with just full access to a plethora of whatever you could think of? And I was thinking personally, I would hop in whatever and take a spin to a planet and check it out. Like that would be my number one. Like, hey, let's go scope out some fun white hole somewhere, or something like along those lines. Like I don't
Yeah.
know what to do, but I think the possibility, the potential is there that it could legitimately happen. So I mean,
Yeah.
shoot for it.
That would be cool. I would like that too. So
I I I think the potential is there for an absolute definite. I don't. That's personally anyway, but I don't. I'm not
I
asked to go down like that, but
I agree that potential is definitely there. And I think that's what we're working on right now. Kind of we're generating these potentials as a group collectively. And, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that we don't even know about that are working on trying to make a different world than what we've got right now. Something that maybe we had before that we don't remember, or that we could have had that you know, that it just didn't happen for whatever reason. And I feel like we can get it back, or we can even expand on what we could have had.
oh, I agree. I believe that the more people are aware that, like, hey, wait, there's a whole industry based off of fear clicks. Like, maybe I shouldn't engage in that. All right, hey, so I'm watching a kitty video for a minute. The new potentials is that I'm gonna watch that instead of clicking the word place. Like,
Yeah. Maybe I should have some kitties on my potentials podcast.
I know I have it for your
We could combine them.
top image on the back will just be
Yeah, my
flowers.
background should be a kitty, maybe. Lure more people into the possible potentiality, eventuality of what could be our future. And I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked because there's a lizard on my ceiling right now,
Like,
and is a little tiny lizard. It's a baby lizard, and he got trapped in here. And I'm trying to get him to go out the door. That's why my front door is open so that he'll leave.
oh, you just gotta put a little piece of paper down.
Well, he's on the ceiling, so it's really hard, but um, I don't know how to make him go out the door. But now he's kind of heading that direction, so I'm watching him.
Or give them the stuff.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I get distracted by lizards.
Oh no. Well, if you put it, I let the last time somebody was like, "Oh, spider, kill it," and it might have been a brown inclusive. I don't care. I was like, "Oh no, he's scared. Like, look, you're frightening him." And I took a
Yeah.
piece of paper and I'm like, "Oh, he's a jumper." And he was jumping at me, but I was like, I brought him all the way outside. I'm like,
I
"Oh,
want I want to bring him outside, but like I've tried to catch lizards before and they're really fast.
oh yeah, no, the little guys too, especially."
You have to put like a bowl over top of them and then just sort of slowly like put something underneath the bowl and then bring it. But he's on the ceiling and yeah, I'm not that tall.
Maybe he's trying to guard you from something. It could be a buddy.
He's slowly walking towards the door. I see him like he's just I'm just gonna hope and send him like some telepathic messages. Go to the door.
Yeah, he's go talk to him like he's a little dog. Like, all right, you're all set, dude. You can head out now.
Yeah.
He'll probably die.
I think that my voice is probably really loud for him. You know, can you imagine if you like the scalability of the size that we are compared to the insects and the lizards and how loud the sound of a voice of something that is this much bigger than us would be? What would it sound like to
Well, I
us?
always thought about that, the exact same thing, and like from like
Yeah,
looking for even as a little kid, like looking at little spiders or grasshoppers,
right.
like if you try to step on them, you're like Godzilla coming through the field, like they're like, oh no, he's gonna kill us. Like, no, I'm just walking. Like, I don't want to get you. Sorry.
Yeah, right. I know. And I'm thinking like as you walk past them and they're scurrying around on the ground, you must imagine how loud our footsteps must be to them as we're walking by and
Yeah, like
how
semi
much they
drive.
reverberate and what the vibrations cause for them. And I don't know how that works. I mean, we don't know what they see and hear, and we can only guess. And science has told us this and that, but how do we know? For
Oh,
real, we're not them.
I live right by the interstate. I can tell you when a tow truck or a truck
Yeah.
full. I can tell you exactly how it feels. Like,
Yes. Very similar to that, I would think. Yeah. Or a plane that's
oh,
flying right
exactly.
over you. Yeah, right. So, I mean, I think about those things. So I'm glad to know I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's a lot of other people that do, but I'd like to see more people think of those things because we're constantly disrupting things that we don't need to disrupt and doing things we don't need to do. If we just thought about how it's affecting other things. I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
saying that we can't live our lives, but I mean, there's some things that we don't really need to do, you know?
Oh no, I 100% agree. That nature, I think, is a lot bigger than
Oh,
just
yeah.
you're throwing your cup in the recycling.
Nature is awesome. I just saw a hurricane, like a couple days ago, and it was amazing. I mean, I just, you know, watched a hurricane go by.
That brings me to an interesting side question or side. If you obviously you've seen the tornado or maybe it's hurricane where the straw goes through the steel.
Where the what?
They have like the steel beam and then like the straw goes through it.
Oh, right, right, right. Yes.
Evidently, that's not like the speed of the straw blasting into the steel. It's like the straw gets wobbly, the steel gets wobbly, and then like, oh, you're good. Like that it stops wobbling. And you got it
That makes sense because everything vibrates,
without
you know,
trying to this flag.
everything
But
vibrates all the time at different levels and frequencies.
I think,
And then when you add extra elements, to cause other things to happen, that makes sense. Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait a minute, yeah, that's kind of some breadcrumb action. Like I'm like, dang it, that's good to know. At least that makes sense because I could never figure out how the straw, like that's one of the ones that never sat well with me. Like the crop
Yeah,
circle where the grass was magnetic after always was like, that seems legit. And the straw going through the metal, I was like, I don't follow how that works, but now a little better. I think.
yeah, it is. I find that interesting too. And watching like the way that things survive so well, like especially nature, how it survives things like hurricanes and actually adapts to them. And I feel like it actually made things better after the hurricane went through. Things are actually coming back to life even more. That we had gone through a really dry spell right before the hurricane, and things were drying up, um, and everything's coming back to life now. It's kind of weird. It's like it stirred something up in a good way.
Well, the water and the electricity partially for
Yeah,
the
exactly.
auras or the earth field was all messed up, but the animals could also usually, at least in the past, could get out of the way. You usually can tell it's coming and get out of the way, at least that
Yeah,
food or safe and come back after.
where they know where to hide, where to go to get to go for cover. And we're the only ones who I think really get freaked out by it, like more than
But
any other creature.
or like probably have a built-in radar for it, but we've been so like so
I feel like we do too. We have a built-in radar for it too, but um, we just have to get connected back to it, or our antennas have to start working again. And I
very
feel like we do have those. We have antennas for the ether. We have antennas for um, all kinds of things.
oh I 100% agree, definitely
Yeah.
nature, the storms, all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah, for real. We don't. I mean, I know that they say the natives would watch the animals. Well, you can do that too, but I also feel like the natives that were in touch with nature and with all of the all of the elements, they were connected to the elements. And so when you feel everything. You just sense everything. It's a different kind of intelligence. It's a different kind of smarts, you know. You
Well, yeah,
it,
that and
it's a knowing, it's an inner knowing, you
they've been
know.
doing it the same way for along the same lines of methodology for a long time.
Yeah.
Dudes,
And
yeah.
I feel like it's a good thing to get reconnected to.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of my vision in a way. One of the many things that I wish for the future that I see for the future is people getting back in touch with that, people connecting again with the elements and with the ether and with everything. Um,
Say maybe even go a step further than that, because I would agree, is each individual person, like, oh, you have a star out there that's just for you. Like, all right, that's what you connect with, and you can draw from it.
yeah,
Oh,
that was
that's awesome.
that's probably the way it is.
I,
Yeah,
yeah, I hope I
yeah,
didn't
we
probably
probably do.
go so
We're
far,
connected.
100% say that's how it is, but I can't confirm that. I definitely hope that's the way it is.
Well, we have this silver cord, this etherical silver cord that comes out of our ethereal belly button, all right? And so when we leave our bodies behind, we we have that ethereal cord, and once that's cut, then we leave behind everything, and then that's how that works. I guess that's what I've heard. I don't know. I was reading. I think you made a reference to it, Robert Monroe books. And I can't remember which one I read. It wasn't even that long ago.
I didn't even
Um,
realize it was the Monroe method until like I was, because the papers originally were like teach you the method, and I kind of got into it that way, and then
okay.
found the
I,
papers, and I was like, oh, I guess, oh, it's the Monroe Techniques for Astral Projection. It's from 1997.
Yeah. So it was a paper that you read.
Yeah, yeah, it's just some like printout from the internet that my buddy brought home. To, like, all right,
Okay.
practice it. Cool.
This
I can.
was a book, and I can't, God, I'd have to go back in my room and get it. Um, but it's just, it was a really good book. It just talked about kind of like his experiences and how it started happening to him. And he couldn't control it at all. It just happened. Like he would just keep leaving his body all the time when
I'm
he was
pretty,
just
I'm
sitting
pretty
around.
so successful that there's some like official agencies that may or may not use that exact technique, but
Right.
I've heard that in the Neuralink or the binaural beats or whatever kind of, or not the Neuralink. No, you don't want definitely don't want to imitate that, but the binaural beats and the and that the combo work well together.
Have you tried that?
I've tried the binaural beats before, but I haven't. They have a meditation setting on for it, but I haven't tried that while actually remote viewing and trying to remote view or astral projection yet. Like it works well. The binaural beats works well, but
Yeah.
this is
So,
time to see
but
that.
you tried the binaural beats, but you didn't try it with the astral projection?
No, the one that I did was because they have all different like it's like the shout to Phi Tribe, like the Phi Tribe stuff where it's all like, oh,
Yeah.
like you want third eye tune up, you want like energy. I think the one I did was like a body heal or like relaxing heal or something like that. But it seemed to work legit. Doing like
That's cool.
it's different tones and then they walk together and your brain kind of gets like that like weird effect to it.
Mhm.
At least for me. I
Well,
tried. Oh, sorry.
oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said, oh, I was gonna try the other ones. I just I'd like to be in the right spot usually for like, oh, I feel like doing that, especially.
Right. So why don't you, I don't know if you feel comfortable telling us about any of the experiments that you've been working on and how you feel like that can help um, people in the future.
Oh, sure, yeah. The like the laser one that I stumbled into, like definitely, I don't know, the most like hopeful sort of perspective aspect is like I definitely, if you would have told me maybe a year ago that like, oh, you can get in you could probably hang a little bit. Like, I definitely don't think I'm a pro boss guy, but I conceptually can grasp it at least, like physics wise, like how it works. Like, just look at like it's a legit thing. Like, that would be my first hurdle that maybe last Thanksgiving I wouldn't have even been aware of. Like, oh, if you look out there at whatever for maybe people say is real, maybe people say it's not real. It just take it as legit and uh, possibly something that's within your grasp of being able to rock out on a method wise. Like just however your head wraps around it, you're like, hey, I might be able to get some action out of this. Like I'd say lean into it personally, just firsthand from like, oh, whoops, like I was expecting there to be a lot more to it, but for her in terms of like steps involved, it was like I thought literally like 6 steps or 7 steps to do whatever, and it was like step 3 and I stumbled into whatever. So without getting you one of those flagged or because I don't know, still don't know for sure what it does. But that's I would say if you have a good feeling about something, or if you could definitely put together at least how some stuff works that dive right in, it's probably worth seeing firsthand because I know you do some laser stuff too. But you've definitely seen some maybe some action firsthand that doesn't transfer so well to the camera, but it's definitely fun. It's definitely fun to learn.
It is really fun. And yeah, I really, thanks for, yeah, for sharing that because I feel like it's fun to do it in person because you see what's actually happening. You know, when you use the lasers yourself, but you do need to use protection. We're gonna say definitely use a Faraday cage or some kind of a screen around it to protect yourself. If you're just starting out and you don't know what you're doing yet, especially, right?
Oh,
So,
exactly. That's key, yeah.
so if you're going to try it at home, um, I would definitely use the Faraday cage, but also just it's fun. It's because you get to see what it really looks like because it's hard to. We try to film it with our cameras and show people like, look, you know, look what it just did, and it just doesn't look the same
It
as
doesn't.
it does in person. It's so cool in person, you know. And you're like, you want to show somebody, but you know, it's like, how many people are gonna want to come over to your house and look at it?
Well, I mean, even if you do something with magnets where you can demonstrate whatever, like that's a
Right.
little less immediate danger. Or like there's demonstrations that you could give with water that would be amazing.
Yes.
Like there's varying danger levels, and I
There's
think
so many different types of things you can do. So many different. It's unlimited, really.
definitely in so many approaches. I think that, and again,
Yeah.
I'm not the super pro or the ultimate one to speak on it, but just as far as I can see, it seems like there's a lot of paths up the mountain for sure.
Yeah. And I just think that it's something that most people could do in their home. It's not something that's so out there or so hard. It's not even expensive, really. I mean, people spend more money on going out to restaurants or movies or whatever than we spend on these experiments. So
100%. Oh,
it,
100%.
I mean, I don't go out to movies and restaurants, and I just spend my money on this
Oh,
instead. It's
this
just way more fun. So
100.
yeah, it's exciting, and I mean, it's very visual. So
Seeing it firsthand, shown,
yeah,
I've only shown a couple people the laser thing, and they're like the same exact things you said, where they're like, "Oh, the videos you took are garbage compared to what I'm looking at." And like, that's what I was trying to tell you. I'm not bragging, but it definitely looks different in person. I'm like, oh, that's an understatement. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely fun to figure out for sure.
oh yeah, it is. It is fun to figure out. F around and find out. That's
That's what
what I say.
if,
It's the G-rated version. We're on YouTube, so I have to say that instead.
oh, the flip method.
Flip
I
around and find out.
would swear.
Whatever. But yeah, I mean there's other things that you've done that I find interesting, like you went to a certain museum, and perhaps you
Yeah.
could talk about that a little bit. And
The,
well, I can shut the door real quick because there's noise outside.
oh shit. The Chapel of the Sacred Mirror. I went to Alex Gray's place. That was they definitely have some magic happening up there. Like I'm not sure if he is super aware of it, but it seems like it just coming from the speech and the stuff that I've read, and just the general orientation of the art seems like the nose in the right direction kind of vibe. But if anybody has a chance to go there, I definitely just I would recommend it.
Where is it located again?
Let's see, it's like the Wappinger. Um, it's New York. I think it's where uh, it's Wappingers, New York. I think it's where Woodstock was, or close to where Woodstock was.
Right, that's right. Yeah, that's really cool. There has to be some really good energy around there, like
Oh,
some residual energy
I,
from that
I
whole
would
experience.
guess if that's the actual grounds for Woodstock, for sure they picked out probably the spot on purpose. But I don't
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure they did. I wonder what the ley lines are like there.
know. Yeah, I didn't think to bring magnets or compasses or anything to check on after that.
Did you feel anything while you were there?
It was definitely had like an energy when they did the group chant thing. It definitely had like a build to it, and they mentioned whatever else after. And there's no windows in it. I'm like, oh, I bet it's built to hold that in, so it like kind of keeps building. But they have like a statue on the top, three face statue that faces like three different directions. So it's definitely pretty neat. But anybody was near there, if you ever make it up to that vicinity, I would 100% recommend it.
Yeah. Oh, I totally would. I would love to do that. Like I love art, so and I'm an artist too, so that's something I would love to do. That would just be a dream. Maybe in a dream. Maybe I should astrally project there someday if I could learn how to do that.
Open there,
That would that would be badass.
that would be badass.
And they wouldn't have any booby traps.
So I don't think they're
They would not. I don't think they would.
probably. I hope anyway.
Well, is there anything else that you would like to discuss, Evan?
Oh no, I'd say like just don't if you have any encounters of any sort, like try to stay in the middle. First hand recommendation.
Wait,
Like,
I couldn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
like if you have any encounters, try to keep your mind in the middle, like stay centered or whatever is what I meant by like that. Like for like street lamp phenomena or like any apparition type action or stuff floating around, I'd say it's all pretty much if you keep it chill, it helps it maybe it happen more. Maybe with personal advice, like if you're open to it. I mean, I'm not saying like everybody should be like, hey, like what's up with Yetis? Like, come hang out. Like, if you're not open to Yetis, like or whatever you're hoping to happen, I'd say it's a full plate of variety if you're open to it.
Yes, I feel like your people hopefully will become more open because I feel like it's bound to happen. It's sort of eventually more and more um, people from other worlds will be appearing. I mean, it just seems like that's what's happening now anyway.
If they're not here right now, or they'll show you their passport anyway now.
Yeah, they're waiting for their passport to get here.
Then they can put on cool outfits, come home.
Yeah, I just feel like, yeah, there's so many different types of beings that exist. And if you aren't open to it, you're gonna have to be soon because it's gonna happen.
That's a solid way. Yeah, I would frame it the same way. 100%.
Yeah. And so the more open you are to it now, the easier the transition will be for you. And if you're not open to it, well, when stuff happens, I mean, I'm here. You can talk to me. um, anybody like out there, it's what I'm saying, I don't, I'm not an expert, but I'm not afraid.
I think not living in fear is like a way bigger part of it than maybe
Yeah.
people realize.
I know nothing, but I'm not afraid of not knowing anything.
But I would concur.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. But yeah, that's how I feel.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree. Other than that, yeah. And did you have anything else that maybe you wanted to run over or anything?
Um, I'm not coming up with anything right now. But yeah, I mean, I thought I would have like a million questions, but like everything that you're saying, like totally like resonates with me. I just feel it. So I don't feel like I have to ask you anything.
Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully,
I know that's a weird thing to say, but
oh no, that's awesome. That's
I
cool.
just feel like, yes, it's Evan and I feel you.
I feel like fine. So
I feel your vibe and I like it. I just want to bask in the Evan vibe.
Oh, I'm great. Same goes for you.
So yeah, and thank you for coming on and for, just talking about all this stuff with me. I always like talking to you, and um, just whatever comes out, whatever happens, whatever you say, I always know it's going to be fun and interesting and something unique, and I like that. So
Oh, appreciate that. I try to
yeah,
throw my own flavor into it, but it definitely
yes,
going into sort of an ego. So same goes for you, 100%.
thank you. It's awesome. It's a symbiotic experience.
Yeah, hopefully, in at least one or two people, maybe provide a little insight. I know.
Oh yeah, I
Hopefully,
think there's so much to learn. There's just so much out there to learn and experience.
and if all,
And
I would agree. I'd say yes and for that.
it's so exciting, like that we don't know everything. It's because we get to find out and we get to, like it's like Christmas every day. When you're when you live with an open mind, it's like Christmas every day, I feel like.
Well, then cherry pick the good gifts for like if you kind of have an eyeball for where the Z pinch is going. You're like, oh, that's some reference to the Brotinos. You're like, oh, Z pinch right there. I'm gonna cherry pick that guy right up the tree.
Yes, yeah. And for those who don't know what Z-pinch is, um, I guess I'll have to put a description in the video.
Oh, you have to make it short. You have to make a.
Well, can you explain what that is so that
It's yeah. Well, I mean, the Z pinch, or in the Brotinos is the mystery ether. Like, I don't know how non-code to put it in without us getting in trouble on with the youth. Maybe
we
right.
should not have said those words? No. They, we'll just say it's through if you watch Generation Z on YouTube, you will get an idea of what Z-pinch is. And a very good idea what that means. So I highly recommend that you watch that that channel and look at the videos that are probably the more recent ones because that's where you'll find that kind of information. So just a little plug for Dave and for David at Gen.
To sprinkle in the mix there.
Yes, just throw it in the mix. So yes. So awesome. Thank you so much, Evan. I just really, it's always a exciting, fun. It's always, a delight to have you um in my podcast, in my viewfinder. To
Oh, 100% world same for you.
have you on has been great. So
It's an
I
honor.
really mean it. I mean, it's just I was really looking forward to this. So you did not disappoint.
Oh, I'm glad at the timing worked out too because I definitely would be
Yes, I am too.
spectacular.
And maybe we'll have to do another one if you feel
Oh,
up
I'm
to it at any point.
game whenever you want to fill out the whatever it's about board and give
Yeah.
me a time slot. I'm up for it.
If there's anything you ever feel like you want to share, or express or whatever, just hit me up and we'll do another one of these.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not scared. 100%.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again, and thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next time. Ciao for now.